everyone. Today I just wanted to give you a brief introduction to the somatic practices that I offer, and starting with the restorative somatics, more slow, akin to yoga type movements and shapings of the body. Now, it's a really interesting time that we find ourselves in, and more than ever, we rely on things like Instagram to put the word out about the things that we offer and the things we do. And this leads to sometimes categorization or a mental image of what we think something should look like or should seem to fit into a certain type of category. So the type of movement, awareness, and breath practice that I practice myself and I share is one that is almost pertaining to the invisible. And so a lot of the things that we might explore or play with during a class or a session are not very Instagrammable. Or at least if they are, they might not look like much. The whole goal of this practice is not what is being seen on the outside or what we are making a shape to look like something, but it is rather the feeling on the inside of the body, the sensations, the awareness, the movement of energy and of the physical body, like the subtle movement of the invisible, and how that creates an impetus for us to move in a certain way, to express the body in a certain way, to express what is going on the inside to the outside. And yes, of course there is guidance, of course there is a frame or a map that we can move through, but that frame and the map is more akin to what my teacher Atika calls islands and oceans. The islands are the more recognizable forms and shapes that the body can take, and the oceans are the spaces between, through which we move and the body is able to flow as it needs to in order to arrive at the next island. And so it's for me, a really beautiful way of being with the body, because we're not expected to perform in a certain way. It is more like a journey, and it's more like a story or an unfolding of one gesture into another. And some of those may be guided by my voice or a guide's or a teacher's voice, and some of those will be guided by your own system, and these are going to be unique to you. They may not look like or appear to be anything like a yoga movement, but this is exactly where true yoga happens. Yoga as the yoking between all of these separate or seemingly separate aspects of ourselves back into this present moment, into this now moment, which happens when we're in that flow, in that do happening, in that co-creation space between ourselves, the body, spirit, energy, matter, everything. So this is where I'm coming from. This is my approach, and a little bit about the practice itself and what you might encounter if you practice with me.